How to break through negative thought patterns. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can finally overcome negative thought patterns once and for all. And I'm going to be teaching you a concept which you've probably never heard before. Once you get this concept, once you understand this and you start applying this, this will be the last self-help or manifestation or mindset shift video you ever need to watch, because this concept is so fundamental to all of that stuff that it's really at the core. It's the foundation. It's the bedrock. Okay, so what am I talking about here? I'm going to be teaching you about your self-concept. This is you, right? Or this is your idea of who you are. It's your self-concept. Another word for this is your identity. And this comes from a few different sources. It comes from your relationships, especially those family relationships. It comes from your experiences. And it also comes from traumas. There's a few other factors in there, but we'll just mention those for now. So, whenever you want to do something which is beyond your normal, everyday life, let's say you want to start a new business, okay? You want to make some more money. You want to meet some new people, you want to get a new partner. Anything that you want to do that's outside of your ordinary experience. What usually happens is the moment you try and change things, you hit a brick wall, right? You hit this brick wall and you start getting all these negative thoughts like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't know what you're doing, you'll never make it, right? And all these negative thoughts tend to push you back to this original, limited self-concept. Now, why does this happen? Why does this seem to happen every time you want to change your body? You know, you want to get fit, you want to get strong, you want to get healthy. And you start the new habit and it sticks for a while, but then you always hit that brick wall. And then the flood of negative thoughts comes back and it just reinforces this small self-image that you think you are. The reason for this is because each and every one of us has inside a survival mechanism. Okay? This is one of the most fundamental instincts that exists within your brain as a human being. Because you want to survive. At your core, you want to survive. And it's the same instinct that regulates your body temperature. It keeps you from getting too hot and boiling your organs, you know, and it keeps you from getting too cold and freezing. Okay, it maintains this even level, a status quo, a balance, right? It's the same thing that stops your heart from beating too fast and exploding, or beating too slow and the blood stops pumping around your body. So what this mechanism is trying to achieve is what we call homeostasis. It's trying to keep everything the same because it thinks that if it can just do that, you'll survive. Now the problem with that is that you'll never grow and life will never change and things will never get better. They'll just stay the same. And when they stay the same, they tend to get worse, right? So we know we need to overcome this limiting self-image. We know we need to overcome this homeostasis reflex that keeps us stuck But how do we do it? That's the question. How do we break these negative thought patterns? Because you know that it's not enough to just use your willpower to try and change your thoughts. You've tried that before. How long did that last? Not very long. There's another way. And this has taken me a long time to realize, but it is the ultimate solution to this problem. So what is it? Tell me. It's called a masterpiece vision. A masterpiece vision, or MPV for short. Now, what this is it's a new program that you are putting into your subconscious mind, right? You've got a conscious mind and you've got a subconscious mind. The subconscious is below your ordinary level of awareness. So right now you're watching this video, you're consciously aware of the words I'm saying. That's your conscious mind. But on a deeper level, you've got a subconscious which is processing things without you having to think about it. It's also digesting your food right now. It's also regulating your body temperature and all of those bodily functions that you never even think about. That's all taking place in your subconscious. This is where all of your beliefs live from all the experiences you've had in life. And it's where your identity lives. So what we need to do with this masterpiece vision is plant a new seed in your subconscious. And you're going to do this through a process of repetition. Okay. So let's call this the conscious, above the line, and let's call this the subconscious, below the line. In order to create a masterpiece vision, you need to define who you want to be. You need to come up with an exact picture of exactly the way you want your life to be. And this picture needs to be so strong and so compelling and so detailed that eventually, with enough repetition, if you put all the little components of what you want to be in this vision, I make X amount of money per year, I live in such and such a house, I have such and such a partner, I have such and such a body, I have such and such a, on and on. You list all of these things out. And eventually, if you focus your attention on this vision with enough intensity, enough repetition, enough commitment, this vision is going to drop down like a seed into your subconscious mind. Once this seed gets into your subconscious, you don't have to do anything else. What I'm saying to you right now is extremely transformative, because what it means is you don't have to run into a brick wall anymore. You don't have to keep trying and forcing and, paying more people to try and help you solve XYZ problem, coming up with new solutions or strategies to solve your relationship problems or your money problems or your health problems. This is all just a symptom. Can you see all of this manic activity is a symptom of this negative, limited self-image that you carry? But what we're doing here, by coming up with a masterpiece vision, is we're expanding your self-concept. We're growing your self-concept to be beyond these limitations of what it was before. We're giving you a new idea about who you are, and that automatically will dissolve this wall. Okay? that will automatically make the wall disappear. So, how do you do this? How do you come up with a masterpiece vision? The first thing you need to do is you need to ask yourself, if I could have anything, if I could have anything at all, what would it be? Where would I live? What would I be doing? How much would I be getting paid? Who would I be doing it with? What would I look like? What kind of clothes would I wear? You want to be paying attention to all these questions and writing them down, because this is how you do it. This is how you overcome the frustration of all those limiting, negative, self-sabotaging thought patterns. This is how you get rid of all of this stuff once and for all. You redefine your self-concept. How would I feel being fulfilled? What would it be like if I was totally fulfilled? What would it be like if I felt absolute happiness? What would it be like if I woke up in the morning and I felt totally at peace? And you want to write down all these questions and come up with your own questions that prompt you to create a vision of your ultimate life. And you might say, oh, well, that sounds like a pipe dream. That sounds like wishful thinking. That sounds like just pure fantasy. But I want to challenge you, and I want you to understand that this entire world that we live in comes from dreams. It comes from fantasies. It comes from imagination. Everything starts with imagination. Everything in our physical world was once seen as an image in someone's mind. This marker, someone thought this up and then it was created. This shirt, someone thought of this design. You look around in the room you're sitting in right now, or wherever you are, and every single object you'll see was once imagined. So this is not a waste of time. It's not wishful thinking. It's actually the most creative thing you can possibly do, is set aside 30 minutes, 1 hour, with a piece of paper and a pen, and write down what your ultimate life would look like. That's step 1, okay? Step 2, once you've got this detailed description of exactly what you want your life to look like, is to now begin impregnating your subconscious. I use words like planting a seed, impregnating, because that is the process of instilling this new self-concept. That's actually a perfect analogy for the process of instilling your new self-concept. It's like impregnating yourself with this new idea. Because once you have committed the act, like the sexual act, once you have had sex and the seed has been transferred, okay, and the seed hits the egg, that's it. The entire process will begin to unfold by itself. There's no further work required for you. Once the farmer has dropped the seed into the fertile soil, once that seed begins to germinate, the farmer's work is over. He leaves the wind and the rain and the sun and the microbacteria and the fungi and the organisms in the soil. He leaves them all to do their thing. And the seed can begin to grow by itself. So, how do you do that? How do you impregnate this image into your subconscious. You meditate on this image every single day. It should be the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, and it should be the last thing you do when you go to sleep at night. And if you can do it a couple of times during the day, in between, that's going to speed this whole process up even more. You meditate on that image. You imagine that you're experiencing it right now. You close your eyes, you get into a comfortable chair, and you relax, and you just visualize yourself living that image as though it's happening right now. And as you practice that again and again and again, the seed is dropping deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. And you'll reach a point, maybe it'll take you a couple of weeks, maybe it'll take you a month. It's going to be different for everyone, depending on the intensity with which you do this and concentrate on that image. But if you concentrate on this very intensely so that it becomes so vivid to you that it's real, this will happen very quickly. The seed will sprout in your subconscious mind very rapidly, and it will begin to manifest in your external world. Meaning, this will begin to self-assemble. All of the things on this list, your perfect partner, your perfect house, your perfect income, your perfect business, your perfect contribution, all the things you list will begin to come to you by themselves. Sounds pretty crazy, right? Test it. Test it with one small thing. Okay? If you feel skeptical, try to prove this wrong with one small thing. Here's an example. This is a very, very funny example that Neville Goddard used to teach his students. Neville Goddard was a very powerful mystical teacher back in the 20th century. And he encouraged the skeptics in the audience to test this concept by imagining themselves climbing a ladder every night before they went to sleep. He challenged them to do this for 1 week, every single night. Just spend 5 or 10 minutes imagining themselves climbing a ladder before they fell asleep. And without fail, within a week of doing that experiment, everyone who did it found themselves somehow in the real world in a situation where they had to climb a ladder. And skeptic after skeptic was just like, oh, this is real. You see, because when you plant a seed in your subconscious, it always sprouts. Okay? As soon as the seed is properly planted. If it's not properly planted, it won't sprout. But if you can, through persistence of focusing on the image, plant the seed properly, it will sprout. It must. It's a law of nature. So I hope that gives you inspiration and hope and a clear, actionable strategy to overcome negative thinking. I hope you understand now that negative thinking is just a symptom. It's not really a thing in and of itself. It's just a symptom of a small self-concept based on past experiences, which is purely fictional. You just decided that this was who you are. It's not really who you are. It's just who you think you are. And if you can think your way into being this, then you can think your way into being who you really are. I hope you enjoyed that. If you would like a detailed, step-by-step, tiny course, which I've just created, on how to create your masterpiece vision, including instructions on how to record yourself reading this out in a layered recording with multiple levels so that you can listen to this every night as you fall off to sleep and make this process very, very fast and very powerful. click the link below and it'll take you to my $12 mini course, which I've just created to help you get this result. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one.